folks. Hello, everybody. You are listening to Tales from Tomorrow, our Fallout TTRPG series. My name is Kyle, and I will be your overseer this evening. Let's get some exciting music in here. Get some astoundingly awesome Tales jams. So this is our weekly series we do every Sunday night. We record these on from our Twitch stream, twitch.tv/overseer Kyle, and then they appear over on our YouTube channel, both as a live stream there as well, and on Wednesdays we publish the syndicated version of it. So there's that, and we publish an Overseer's Log as well, which is a weekly diary of the diary of everything we've done. It's a discussion from a GM perspective of tools and software I use, little tricks that I've come up with over the months and year to facilitate our game. And in the most recent episode, we had all of our cast. That's Dark Knight, that's Skylar, and that's Mac Raven that came by and talked about their characters. So it was really, really fun, and it's up there for you to listen to. It just came out on Saturday. So again, Tales from Tomorrow, we record it on Sunday nights. It gets syndicated on Wednesdays. And then on Friday or Saturday, you get a copy of the Overseer's Log, which is the behind-the-scenes extra bonus content. It's all free. You can check that all out on YouTube. If anyone wants to become a supporter or a subscriber, there's a Patreon and a Coffee linked below. But I would also tell you we are a Bethesda brand ambassador. So if you want to save some money off of their shop, use this week the code BTales11 and BTales12. Those are two separate codes. They have 10 uses a piece, so use them, and they only last a week. But they'll save you 20% off at checkout, get a kickback from that. And if you're really interested in playing the Fallout TTRPG series, you can go buy that from the Modiphius website, which we have a code for as well. That's BTales, and that will save you 10%. In both of these cases, it's spelled B-Tales, like Bethesda, B is in Bethesda, Tales is in stories, Tales from Tomorrow. So B-Tales, and then again, you can just increase the number if you're on the Bethesda site, 11, 12, 13, 14, and so on. We are picking up this week, as I pivot over into our in-game screen. As always, our little alchemy map likes to be a bit fidgety. We are picking up as our characters are launching a training exercise in the next day. Oh, pardon me, wrong one in there. That should be better. Although the fog is weird on my side. Alchemy does as it will. This is our every week. I'm sorry, everybody. Ta-da, there we go. Okay, perfect. So you can see there, our players actually need a little move around on the map real fast. Oh, Alchemy's losing it, you guys. It just added the fog back to the whole map, I think, right? Bear with us, everybody. This is a VTT, pardon me, a virtual tabletop that is cute, but less functional than needed. Erase fog and try it again. No. Okay. There we go. We got a little bit of the map showing up. Finally. Perfect. Well, it didn't care about me doing that in advance. Our players are all up in the town of Hope, which you might be able to see there in the top corner. They are going to be starting an emergency training this week in advance of going after a potential boat for looting that's been held up by Mothman cultists. At least that's what the Free Radical Raiders had mentioned to some of their compatriots in the last episode or previous. We're going to pick up today with our friends. You actually have a half a day in front of you right now, and then we're going to have your characters go to sleep and pick up on tomorrow in game. That will be the day you can do your preparations, your training, and then potentially the day after that is the attack, so long as all you feel comfortable with that strategy still. But just to put that out there for all my players. That's the loose timeline we left off with last week. For today, in game, if you would like to assist, the players, the townsfolk were working on their cargo building, their warehouse that they had set up. So if that's of interest to people, you'd be able to dive in on that one. If there's any questions from the players, now would be a great time to do it. Otherwise, I think you'll just be picking up here midday, mid-street, and I'll go in whatever direction you guys want to in expanding the lore. So first of all, any questions that people have off the top? That sounds like no question.
I don't particularly have any.
Perfect. Works for me. Well then, Sky, since you were the first person to talk, what is Sam up to right now? As all of our NPCs and all of our markers on the map, you are all leaving the church. What is your plan right now?
After some deliberation and some thinking, I kind of thought of an idea, and I was going to propose it to Mac and Jim, or to Raven and Jim. So I will meet back up with them.
You're going to meet back up with them. Very good. Well, then the same question goes to those two. Jim, you would just come outside and I think maybe talk to Rusty a little bit on the way out the door. Are you waiting around and catching up with Sam there? Raven, what are you doing? You guys lay it on me.
I think I'm gonna go get working on that APC antenna thing.
Okay. You're in a little bit of a bind, though, to catch you up as a reminder. I don't know that there's much else you can do with it at this time, right? Your skill check on it did not succeed.
Right.
And therefore, you netted out that you pretty well could only get the receiving capabilities up without scavenging for some new parts. So if you have any ideas of things you're going to try to kind of, give me something to work off of, I'm all ears. Otherwise, I'm not sure what else Jim can do to it at this point.
Okay. Well, then I'll just see what everybody else is doing.
Okay. Then I'm going to say you all catch up just for the ease of you doing your start for the day. As a reminder, we're only going to spend 1 IRL hour on this day and a half here. And then we're going to fast forward pretty much no matter where we are, though we're not going to try and cut anything off. But we're going to make sure that by the time we go to break in about 50 minutes, that we'll be ready for whatever the next stage is.
So, Mr. Owl, look, I got flamer like you. We can make roasted Maya lurks now.
Oh, Mac, Raven, that's quite wonderful. I'm so glad to see that you're learning new technologies and finding out new advances from the pre-war era. Oh, it was a wonderful time. I could tell you stories for days. What would you like to know about first? And so Sam and Jim, while she's typing, are you guys meeting up then right now just for ease of moving forward?
Yes.
So what's your plan together then?
Jim, I wanna meet with you and Raven here in a bit, and
Okay.
I wanna throw some ideas about this little thing we got going on here, about this little plan.
Okay. Sure.
Are there other weapons like this, Mr. Owl?
Oh, well, for fire? Well, you see, back in my time, for as many flamers existed, there were as many cryolators on some of the Protectron units deployed across the great cities of this country, including, well, again, the fire Protectrons, but also, there was talk that these cryolators could be used in situations of war or combat. There were also some people that dabbled in electricity. Mostly the Protectron model line got quite a few advancements in that way. Oh, your friends are here. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome. Good to see you all.
Anchorage was cold enough. I don't know if we need that out there.
Oh, yes, Master Sam. Serving in Anchorage, what a noble endeavor in those times. Oh, the stories. I've read many of them in magazines since then, but oh, I never got to see it for myself. Busy supporting on the home front.
And it's a good thing, too. The Mr. Handies didn't last long over there, pal. I'm glad that you were safe here.
They do talk about it making more advanced versions of me, something about a gutsy model, but I've not met one myself. Wait, actually, we did meet a gutsy model, although I was a bit indisposed at the time. My memory's a little hazy from our trip to the radio antenna. Modus popping around in my brain and all of that.
Most definitely. Listen, Raven. I had some thoughts about the scouting party that we were going to lead before we ran, straight into this and sent everyone out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't sit right with me if we didn't get an idea of what was going on at this place before we kind of sent everyone in guns blazing and effectively murder an entire tribe of people. I had a thought of what we could do to try to infiltrate the area, though.
Okay.
If we can drag out 2 cultists so that Jim and I can don their outfits, and maybe you can change up yours a little bit, some of the identifying marks so that they can't tell it's you, and maybe we can just waltz right in the front door and just kind of see what's going on and see, what their intentions are with the boat, and just kind of get an idea of what's going on. And if stuff goes south, we shoot the flare gun up in the air and have the cavalry arrive.
Maid I can lure 2-way to you guys.
That's what I'm thinking. I think I don't know, maybe you can do some call, maybe you can confuse them a little bit, and then we can just knock them out and take their gear.
Sound like a plan.
That's all I have for now. If we want to work on some other stuff tonight while we're waiting, or if we want to go out into the dark of the night and do that, I'm game for whatever.
So GM chiming in here. As a reminder, we're about midday right now, somewhere. Maybe it's about 2 o'clock at this stage, because I think the meeting was at noon. We'll say it took somewhere about an hour and a half. So about 2 p.m. right now. You've all mingled and said your hellos to those people. There's still people milling about the street, going about their business. And actually, before we go too far, I will say you do start to hear some excitement and kind of cheering down the street, implying that something's going on. The people are getting together and ready to unveil the new warehouse that they have completed. So if we want to make a way down there to do that next, as just something for you all to see what they've been building in the days that you've been out of the town. This is more of I want to say this is a little bit more narrative than it is functional. That is to say, we are grafting the Fallout 2 D20 settlement mechanic onto this town in a large brushstroke sort of way. But there are some buildings that are more narrative driven than anything else. That is to say, this building could be used in any scene, anything you guys want to pull from. But for the sake of it, this building isn't necessarily serving as too much. There is something in the rules, though, about like a storage facility. We as a group just don't track the minutia to that degree. However, this is a warehouse that they're about to open. So if you guys did find something large, and I don't know exactly what we're talking about, large, something, gosh, I don't even know. I don't know for the moment, but there's so many things in the wasteland you could put in there. It's not vehicle size, I guess is what I want to call out. This one's more of just a storage facility for goods. They haven't made a door well, maybe it is vehicle size. I don't know. As far as your mind can go with it, truly. But they'll show it off here in just a minute. For the endeavor that you all are looking to do, you want to do some scouting for it. That would perfectly be something you could do today if you guys wanted to go down there, either today or in the nighttime, and see what you can get involved with in that way. As a reminder, tomorrow is the day the town is planning on doing, basically from morning till afternoon tomorrow. They're going to be doing a day's worth of training. And that training will conclude somewhere before the evening because they want people to get rested up. There is still the decision to be made based on tomorrow's training and based maybe on the scouting mission of what time you guys want to do your strike. The Mothman cultists are very active during the evening and nighttime hours, so you could either kind of confront them in the night. I will call out, though, fighting in the dark does add a difficulty increase to your tests. So that might not be the greatest time for certain pieces of your advantage. However, yeah, I guess I'll just say that much. It's going to be hard on your eyes at nighttime, and also if they're more awake at nighttime, that might be double trouble for you. However, you could do even more easily sneaking and stealth stuff, so that's a possibility as well. You'll be covered in darkness.
Well, I am game to...
Sam, someone sounds very happy. We should see what happened.
I totally agree. Let's go check it out.
Alfred chimes in and goes, "Oh yes, down the street they were saying the warehouse might be ready to unveil. Oh, the mayor's already here. What a lovely time. Hello, hello." Alfred's greeting people that he basically just said goodbye 2 moments ago. But as you get up here, you can see there is a bit of a congregation. Lena is there, Hell's Bells is there, the mayor, Protectron, is there. As well as just an assortment of other people around the town, people that had helped build it up. That goes from the farmers to the Brahmin tenders to all these other folks who just are facilitating with this. The mayor goes, "Greetings, welcome to the grand unveiling of our warehouse. Please take a look inside." And with that, he cuts a little small ribbon that they had tied out in front of it and shows off that you guys have this now beautiful warehouse, or at least functional warehouse. Maybe beautiful is not the word, I don't know. But you have this warehouse which is now close to the dock, which is being restored in anticipation of further travel throughout the region. This was kind of something that the town's folks did while you guys had gone off on your last mission to the Red Rocket Station. They had started it kind of as a adjacent building to the Trade Caravan Center, which for folks at home is just right here. So whenever a trader comes to town, there's a spot for them to plop down. But this gives the town folks a place to spread their material supplies. Alfred flies on in to check it out.
I'm going to go take a gander as well.
"Oh, Master Sam, look at all the space. Look what the things that people have already moved in here. This town is coming together so nicely. What a grand opening."
Most definitely. We went from not having any stock to having a decent amount now, so hopefully we can just keep growing it.
Well, isn't that the lovely part of capitalism, Master Sam? All these wonderful people coming to buy and trade and sell and create value and scarcity. It's just a wonderful American history and dream for our future.
Yeah, it's truly the American way, ain't it?
Yes, Master Sam, just look. So many doodads and baubles. I think I even see, a hot plate. How useful.
It would probably be more useful in the kitchen, but it's good that, it's sitting here.
Maybe it's to sell to someone who's in need. I don't need one because I have this flamer. And he goes and almost sets the flamer off, but then has a moment of hesitation where he realizes he's in a building that could combust.
Yeah, watch out, buddy. You don't know what kind of explosives are in here.
A great point. You know, maybe this is not my place to be. I'll see you outside.
I'll see you, buddy.
The mayor waddles in as he does. Greetings, citizens. Greetings. This is our warehouse.
You did a fine job, Mayor.
All thanks can be deposited in a Vault-Tec feedback receptacle. Thank you for choosing Smile.
I'll make sure to get right on that. Thank you.
Make sure to mop the floors before you leave.
Yes, sir.
And he just continues his little U-turn in there and just leaves after assigning you that random ass task.
What a mop.
It's this right here, but it's a warehouse. I think that it'll be okay. We're in the wasteland. It's gonna get dusty.
Lena pops in and says, "Hey, I know it's not really available to show just yet, but you know, right up here, there is sort of a new office building they're all trying to get together. Office building might be a little bit too big of a phrase for it, but it is a building near the dock. I know it's not completely put together yet, but they got some stuff going on the exterior of it. You can kind of see they've got a little bit of a light going on, something to do with the water, but we'll see what the future brings. I'm liking what I'm seeing after y'all came to this town. Bringing good vibes with you."
It's amazing to see how much has been built in such a little time.
I agree. So you're all getting ready for tomorrow for the big training day?
As best as we can.
Well, I think the townspeople might be relaxing a little bit tonight after getting this done and relaxing and getting ready for tomorrow, of course. People getting some good rest, I hope. They're going to need it.
We'll need everyone sharp and ready to go. Make sure that, they're well fed, well rested. You can't find it on an empty stomach.
I couldn't agree more. Is your plan, based on what we said, we're going in guns a-blazing with the APC and just blowing them to high hell? Is that still our leading plan?
I think that we're going to have you guys stay back a little bit. And me and the gang, we're going to try to swipe some Mothman outfits. We're going to try to infiltrate, kind of get an idea of what's going on, see how many people are in there, see if it's even really necessary for us to go in guns blazing. And then kind of take it from there. If anything goes south, we'll shoot this nice flare gun up in the air, and that means that you all need to come and save us.
Okay, so you're gonna scout tonight, and then we're all going together in the next mission in 2 days from now.
Most definitely, we'll get the outfit tonight. We'll go back there. When the day comes is when we'll go in there, but we might get the outfits tonight.
Well then, depending on what time you're trying to get there, it's probably about a three-hour journey maybe from here. Not too bad, but we'll just hope for pleasant weather out there, that there's no unforeseen sights or other such boogeyman on the road.
Yeah, hopefully no creepy crawlies. You know what can be out here in Appalachia.
Don't I ever. Okay, gang, so is your plan now to head out? What are you thinking about doing? Anyone else have missions that they're looking to do right this second? Or tasks, objectives, whatever it is? Or are you all packing up to head out? Or are you waiting a bit?
And if we need a trade or anything, I don't know. I don't want to carry everything, like carry the everything. If everyone doesn't want to go yet, I would like everyone to have an opportunity
Agreed.
to do what they'd like to do.
You're doing great. We haven't heard much from Jim over there. Jim, what are you thinking tonight?
I've got nothing really else. I'm not sure what to do.
And Raven? Because if you guys want to skedaddle, by all means, just let me know you're ready to boogie. I'm just trying to give everyone a chance. If they want to get anything done here, just you have that authority and time to do so. Otherwise, just let me know you're heading out. And if you do decide to head out, are you taking the APC or are you going on foot?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
That on the one hand would get us there faster potentially, but on the other hand, it also brings a lot of attention.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Sam, should we take the APC?
Let's do it.
Okay. So you're all going to take the APC then. Well, I'm going to assume, again, unless any of you have anything more urgent you want to throw in the path, that you're all going to bundle up your supplies. Maybe people have some last meals before they hit the road. But that the three of you tuck into the APC, probably say your goodbyes to those who are around. Probably Alfred sees you off as he does. And with that, we'll go ahead. We'll go straight into the next thing. Because I would like to, again, make sure we have some time for other little things tonight. So I won't make you dally here too long. If these maps are revealing extra information, just close your eyes, players. I have no control over what Alchemy's doing at this point. It has far since abandoned ship tonight and is ignoring all my map commands. So again, if by chance, just please do me a little solid and try not to look at anything that's maybe secret. That being said, it's not even showing the overmap. So sorry, folks at home. I do apologize. I don't like tech issues, but we've got a lot with Alchemy. Boop, 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 boop. Nothing. No map. My Alchemy and this are in complete opposition of what they're showing. Yeah, you guys, your icons are there, but the actual tactical map is not, which has me flustered because I can't show you anything. Bah humbug, everyone at home. I'm so sorry. Don't use Alchemy VTT. That is my piece of advice to people. Do not do it. It's a cute VTT. They sell the game for cheap there, but it does not accomplish the bare minimum, and that's a problem. So just honest from the heart advice to people out there. You can get the game for cheap there, and that's cool. It can be useful, but if you can't show your friends your battle maps, that's not great. So anyway, it is only about a 3-hour by foot journey to go down the road to where the raiders are. It actually is probably a little bit more than that, more like 4. But where you're going to go now, even now that I'm looking at the map, it's just going to be a little bit longer than that because you're going off of a beaten path from the raider location. So if you all are hopping into the back of the APC, we'll say that trip, which is probably about 6 hours on foot, will be about 3 hours in the vehicle. And we'll say that's kind of driving at a semi-leisurely pace, that you're not just like ripping it down the path, like out of control style, really going ham. So once you get to the area, let's see if it'll actually allow us the... Alchemy's all kinds of crazy. What the heck? It's showing weird parts of the map there. Okay. Once you get down there, we're going to go to this one. We're going to hope that your battle map loads tonight, because if it doesn't, we're going to have a hard time playing the scene. If you guys can't see where the enemies are. Okay, on my side, there is a bit of it that is loaded in, the correct bit. So that's a good step in the right direction. I like that. Hopefully you all can see it as well.
I didn't see anything.
Try scrolling around on the screen.
I got it.
Good.
Oh, there we go. There we go.
First step
Yes,
for you
I see
guys
it.
will always be to scroll around. If I can see it at home on the stream playback, it's at least working. And that'll just always indicate that it's something on your side. Max had to deal with that too. It's a little bit annoying, but such is life. Better than what we had a moment ago, which is the program refused to show anything at all. So moving forward, you guys arrive in the APC, which does not always seem to have been synced to the players at home. Well, it might show up, it might not. But the APC is there on the field with you guys. There we go. I got it. Ba-doom. Now, you're on this path. Raven, you could start us off with the very first roll of the night if you want to do a perception and survival. What time would we be getting here? If it takes about 3 hours and you guys left directly, we said it was about 2 o'clock, so you're looking at maybe a 5 p.m. getting here, if that sounds right to people. If you want to wait a little bit and be a little bit slower because you want to get here a little bit lighter in the evening, that's okay too.
I think it's a good time because I'd like to get back and get some good sleep tonight before we do all that stuff tomorrow.
Good deal. So Raven rolled what's actually complication in this test, which is good to know. So for Raven, this is very unfamiliar territory to you. This is not a space that you know well. You've not been down this part of the riverside. And to kind of point this out to you, let me do a little more racing on the map here just so you can see where the river is in relation to this road. You'd have at least this much intel with your line of sight. There we go. Perfect. You can have that car and such in there too. So zooming out for the people at home. Whoop. There you go. That is what you're working with.
Sam, I am lost.
Do you want to park the APC, hide it, and take it out on foot and just kind of look around?
Sound like good idea.
I figure we could just, I don't know, maybe we can move it to this nice little area right here at the bottom.
Scooching it down here somewhere.
Yeah, sure. Like between these, I'm trying to
Ping it.
I'm trying to
There
ping
we
it. Yeah,
go.
there we
Sure.
go.
That works.
A perfect little area for it. Little ferns, hide it.
Lovely.
Let's go. And then we can get out on foot and go check out everything.
I think that's very good. Okay. So going straight down the path then. As far as I see you guys do, and that's, I'm going to keep up with what your endeavors are here. So considering Raven does not have a very good line of sight on things, as you guys are getting up to where you are, you immediately see an area, and I think the first thing I'm going to make you guys do is a group sneak test to see. You are going right down the middle of a path. We'll let the first person roll, whoever's going to lead the sneak test, and then the other two can assist with that. Or actually, you know what? You go. Yeah. Do that. Do that. I was weighing if people should do an individual test, but you're as a pack going down the middle of a street into 3 successes. That's a good number, Raven, because I'm going to say that sort of actually helps you. You see that there is a Mothman cultist, pardon me that says Raider in there, that's just for the stat blocks. But you see that there is a Mothman cultist who is, at this moment, has his back to you. He's standing atop of this kind of junk pile that's there. There's sort of barricades that are built up from the other raiders that have been in this area prior to this. Raven, you probably noticed there's some body parts strewn about, some bodies tied to the actual barricades themselves. And you guys would realize you're in a really terrible spot to be hiding. That if you stay in this spot too long, probably like a minute longer, you will be detected easily. This person's just
Sam,
standing
look
up there.
one there on barrier, his back turned, not sure if other nearby.
All right, let's beeline for the trees over here.
So the gang chooses to run south right into the tree line. Okay, very good. And within that time that it takes you to run down there, he does patrol back. He kind of, does a little look around, kind of maybe thinks he even hears something out there, but nothing as he does his initial scan. Great job on that test. And you can, by the way, put 1 action point back into your pool on that one. I'll go ahead and do that just because I'm there.
Raven, do you know any, special calling whistles or anything? Perhaps we can lure him over here and then you can bonk him over the head with your melee weapon.
Oh, that's interesting. I like that. I wonder what kind of test maybe you guys could try for that one. I hate to give Raven a speech test because I think that's not an area she's strong in. But at the same time...
I know my tribe's one's not sure if it will work.
Yeah, give us a difficulty... Give us a difficulty 1 speech and charisma test. I think for someone else it would be difficulty 2, but we're lowering it because you're part of the Mothman cult. Well, okay, there we go. Great success. So with that, Raven, you are trying to make some sort of call to get his attention. Is that right? You know what Raven might actually come up with is that it might be easier to use some sort of symbol to get him. Something maybe with the red eyes of the Mothman, something like that. If she has a good sound in mind that she makes, I'd love to hear that too. Whatever you think is best. You are the Mothman cultist, so I will defer to you. Someone played a Discord sound effect. Give Raven an extra second here. She's making an owl sound. With that, Raven, I will say with your test, with your charisma, you do that. You see that the cultist steps down, kind of doesn't really say too much, looks over his shoulder at other bits, and I'll kind of unveil a little bit more on the map there. You probably don't have too much better of a vision than this on the vicinity up ahead, but you can kind of see that it stretches out a little bit more. So with that, you make your owl sound, and this Mothman cultist slowly but surely, a little hesitantly, makes his way over. By his light. Who goes there? I know that was not a sound of an animal of the wood. And he's going to do a perception test on all of you here and see what he can find. Da, 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 da. What test am I looking for? Survival and perception, probably. Yes, roll, buddy, roll. Phew. Okay. You already did your sneak test. He does not see you. Even though he got 2 successes on his test, he does not see anyone as he's getting close to this area here. Well, it must be nothing.
Raven. You want me to grab him? I thought we were gonna. I'll grab him if you want to hit him or whatever.
By his light, who goes there?
And I'm gonna reach out for him with both my arms, and run. What, maybe like a athletics?
Yeah.
Or
You guys
strength?
can do an opposed athletics and strength test if you want to do that. That would be perfectly fine.
Strength makes the most sense, but could I do agility?
Yeah, I'll let you do that. Nice. With that, you are able to wrestle him. He is yelling, though, for what it's worth. He's yelling, "Get off me! Unhand me, you vile beast!" And you, Sam, are able to restrain him so he cannot reach for his weapon. He is still awake, alive, and shouting. So if you guys are going to do something with this shouting man, you better, because he otherwise is going to attract the attention of the rest of the people in there. Help! Help! Let me go!
I clamp my hand over his mouth.
You can see this is a man who is, he has a skull mask on his face and has antlers that come from his hood, antlers of wood. And he's got these cultist robes on. There's some bones attached to it. He has a hunting rifle in his hand, and he's actually, what weapon does he have in his hand? Pardon me 1 second. I'm going to see for my own self. Oh, he has a machete in his hand with a combat shotgun strapped over his back.
I'm gonna pull some medics out of my pouch and dose them with it to try to make them go to sleep.
Oh, wow. Okay, I think that's great. Yeah, you absolutely can do that, Sam. You dose him with medics, and in just moments, his loud grumbling through Raven's hands, and he succumbs to the intense injection of Med-X. That does take that from your inventory. That is used. And now you have an unconscious Mothman cultist within your grasp here. I will assume you guys have also pulled him back into the woods, probably, maybe? Or maybe you haven't. I don't know. You guys be the arbiters of that. But where you are right now is outside of the line. So I will just recommend that you scooch them all into the tree line there. Okay. So what's your plan now? You have a Mothman cultist. You see, I think whoever's out there, Sam, the rest, you probably would have looked over and paid attention that there are other people milling around out there. And I'll erase a little bit more of the map so you can kind of see. There is a guy up on the back of that. We're going to show him. There's one up there. So that dude's hanging out up there. Just a reminder to people at home, these raiders are Mothman cultists, just for the stat block. They also dress pretty similarly, if that makes sense, you know.
I am gonna drag him real quick closer to the APC.
Sure.
And perhaps bind him some way. I'm thinking we take him back to Hope.
Oh.
We got a prison there.
We
can ask some questions there.
You do. Yeah. If that is your plan for right now, you could do that. It would probably take you 5-10 minutes to haul them through the trees, maybe even 15, if depending on how well you guys are able to lift this character and pull them through there. There's 3 of you, so that's enough to distribute the body weight pretty well. You make your way through that tree line, still being careful to not make too much noise, and you get them to the APC.
Can we loot him for everything? Sorry.
Yes.
It doesn't have to be a physical thing we do right now. I just want to make sure he doesn't have anything on him to get out.
Absolutely. I was the only thing I was hesitating on is I was debating because I really don't know the honest answer off the top of my head. If you kill someone that's holding a combat shotgun, do you just get the combat shotgun? In most Fallout, or at least in like Fallout 76, the answer is no. They might drop something they're carrying, but it's usually an arbitrary loot pool. So that was what I was pausing on. Yes, if you're trying to just take away all his weapons and things so he doesn't have it, absolutely. It's probably also within your level as well to have an extra combat shotgun. He had a machete and a combat shotgun on him. He also has the equivalent of raider armor on his person, so that's the deal.
Unless anyone wants that stuff, we can just put it over to the side, make sure that he's not close to it. Maybe just throw it in the APC. I don't want him in the APC in case he tries to. I know he doesn't know how to work it, but who knows?
You don't know.
And then, Raven, do you want to go bash one in? I'm sorry that you didn't get the opportunity to bonk him in the head. I got nervous.
You want me grab another one, Sam and Jim?
Yeah, let's go work on it, and you can work this one over. Let's go.
You have not also explored, the exterior of this area. So if you're looking to get better eyes on it, I'm going to ping on the map. You're probably going to want to follow the tree line over this way. That's just a leftward on the map. I think as you're going, I think we'll let that test for all of you stand, that one you just did. I am going to see what the raider on the wall over here can make out, though, in general. He's just going to do just generic test to see how smart he is at this sort of stuff. Roll. I want your perception and survival test. Survival. Perception. Roll. Why won't it roll? There we go. Must be in a butt. Oh, he's oblivious, the cultist who stands up there. He has no idea. He hasn't even noticed that his other friend is gone. But if you guys are getting further over that way, go ahead and I'll erase some more of this for you. I get a little bit more eyes on the facility that's there. Probably seeing about that much of it at this stage. Seeing a little bit more. There are some body carcasses and things like that over there. Yeah, this is about what you're seeing. I will throw actually out a little bit more in the back of the map here for people too. That you do make out that there is a boat sitting there. It looks it's hard to get too much of it from the tree line where you guys are now. It's just a little bit too much behind these barricade structures. As you get closer to it, you see again the very obvious signs that these were raiders at one point. There's a lot of barbed wire, there's a lot of sheet metal, there's a lot of vehicles incorporated in wood and all the rest. But on top of all of that, where you could have imagined raider banners and other things, you see earthly totems, twisted vines, some lanterns strewn about. You might make out some wax candles at a distance, but that's about all you're getting right now. You're still you're still across the street from it, and you got a little bit of like visual avoidance or whatever the word is. You got things in your path making it hard to see. Obscuring is the word I want. Plans.
All right, Raven. You want me to lure out this one? And you can bonk him on the head?
Sure.
I heard how that guy talked, and I'm going to try to do an impersonation of him.
Oh. Okay, we'll have you do a speech test. What's your impersonation? You want to do it?
I'm gonna pay 1 AP to see how it goes. To add an extra.
Sure, go for it.
And I yell out, "Brother, heretics in the woods! Help! Help!"
Great. He's gonna be difficulty 2 for you, I think.
I
Easy.
forgot to add another one, but it's okay.
Easy. You got a 3 successes on it, so add 1 back to your AP pool. And with that level of success, he actually just shimmies right down the side of it without even going for anyone else. Brother, where are you? By his light, where have you gone?
Get him, Raven.
Oh, sister, it is great to see you. Are you okay? Someone is yelling in the woods. Do not speak. Has his light taken your voice or your mind?
I jump him and put him in chokehold.
Okay, go for it. You can do a strength and athletics test on that, Raven. He's going to roll against you, so 2 successes. He's probably not going to beat you on this, but let's see what he does anyway. Play and strength and athletics. Here we go. 0 successes. So you're able to jump him, and you put him in that chokehold. And just like that, he goes out.
Go to sleep, bother.
Yes, go to sleep.
And he is. You guys dragging him back to the APC as well?
Yeah, let's take him back. We got 2 guys with us. Hopefully one of them talks.
Yeah. Wonderful. And you can do the very same to him. You can strip him of all of his gear and attire. He has on him combat. What does he use? He has a tire iron and a pipe gun on this cultist. His equipment is just road leathers. He doesn't really have any. So it'd be his cultist robe and some road leathers under that, something of that make and caliber. And you have your 2 Mothman cultists. Is the idea that you hightail it back then?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
With haste.
Look, Jim got another one.
Oh, wow. Good for you. See if you can talk when we get back.
And unless there's anything else other people want to do, we'll go ahead and say you skedaddle out of here. We'll go flash right back up to the Hope map. That way can save you some time. And you'd get to the town about 3 hours later, going through the vehicle. And so if your next step is to take him to the jail cells, both of them, to the jail cells, we will go ahead and you can proceed to do that. It is going to be evening time now, so you got there about 5. Let's say it takes probably about half an hour to do. Maybe it takes a little bit more than half an hour, probably an hour to do those deeds. And it's 6 o'clock, so it's about 9 p.m. that you're getting back in town tonight. And we'll see if Alchemy will actually show you guys the map or not. Alchemy? Oh, there. People at home can see it. That's good. That's a step in the right direction.
I am gonna go tell Tom about the fruits of our labor. If anyone else wants to do anything, by all means, Jim, Raven, if there's anything y'all want to do.
Yeah, at this time of night, as you get back into town, people are, you can tell it's a quiet evening. Again, people are getting ready for tomorrow, for the training day. So a lot of the people that might be otherwise out, kind of just milling around, like keeping their places open and otherwise, they are pretty closed down for the night, pretty quiet goings in the town. Terry and them are still around. The cafeteria is still open, but not nearly as much hustle and bustle as usual. Raven's going to grab dinner and food, so go ahead and do that. You're all caught up on that. And if you guys want to do anything in particular tonight, feel free to tell me. Otherwise, my guess is that you're all going to just turn in easily. You're going to talk to Tom, though, first, Sam.
Yes, I will.
Go on in.
Do my trademark knock on the door. Tom, we got something big.
Sam, welcome back. How was your little expedition out there?
We wrangled up a hunting party, and we came back with some big game. We got 2 Mothman cultists in the back of the APC as we speak.
Well, that is some big game. Mothman cultists, huh? Oh, well.
Plucked them straight from the area where the boat is, so they've got to know some goods.
That is very good information. Do you think we could get some more intel from them tonight, or should we pick up tomorrow?
One of them is out cold from a pretty heavy dose of Med-X. The other one, he's just kind of sleeping off a chokehold. So we might want to, let them get some rest to let their brains kind of recuperate, make sure that they're all clear-minded for our questions.
Oh, not bad at all. Hopefully Len will keep those protectrons, keep a double-duty watch over there, make sure it's all quiet, and we'll get some sleep. It's very important. We'll pick up in the morning, try and get some of our work done before we decide next maneuvers. This might factor in a little bit to our day if we figure out anything of real importance. We do have a
That's what I'm thinking as well.
Pretty great setup for tomorrow as well. We got 4 different courses for people to run through. Sam, we got pardon me here, let me check my notes. And he flips through there and says we've got a triage training set up. We got a shooting range set up, a stealth course, sort of practice for people staying in the shadows, and we also got a little bit of scouting work lined up for folks. Make sure that they got the ability to see some distractions and other kind of alarming things. If people are doing well on this tomorrow, they'll definitely be ready for whatever combat befalls them in that next raid, I guess.
I'm hoping that we'll be able to get everyone in tip-top shape. I'm hoping that we'll be in tip-top shape, and I'm hoping everyone makes it out alive.
Well, I don't know how many people we're actually sending through yet. I suppose we'll see, based on the training tomorrow, how many people you want to take. This is a little bit of your rodeo, so you can let us know who's staying and going.
Alrighty, copy that. I'll wrangle up a couple of these police protectrons and get these guys out in the jail, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan, Sam. Okay, we'll catch you in the morning.
Is Smiles in there?
Yes, he's in his charging pod.
Oh. Is there any way Smiles can hang out with them for the night?
Hang out with who? With the
cultists. I have an idea. I was going to ask Smiles if he could give them a little bit of education on how to be a good citizen. And basically I want him to talk to them all night until they are super annoyed, and hopefully they'll talk to us because they hate technology and they're probably going to be mind blown by a robot lecturing them all night.
I think we could do that, Sam. I'll tell the mayor to wake up, and he presses one of those buttons on the desk there, and you hear the typical as the pod opens up, and Protectron comes out. Greetings, citizens. Tom, it is lovely to see you this wonderful evening. I will proceed with any given instructions, or I will go to default programming and authorize construction crews to begin working on the dock.
Mayor Smiles, I need some assistance, if you please. We've got a couple of ne'er-do-wells that they need a little bit of rehabilitation.
Ne'er-do-wells. Referencing potential criminals. You need me to scare them straight.
Absolutely.
It is within my programming to give discipline, including corporal punishment, execution, torture, and or other forms of mutilation. Oh, well, that probably shouldn't be in your Vault-Tec program, and I'm not exactly sure how you got that.
Let's keep it light. We don't need any forms of mutilation.
Understood.
Just a little bit of psychological torture.
I am programmed in 25 different methods of psychological torture.
Okay, maybe not Vault-Tec programmed. Just give them some history of America. Tell them about how we love law and order and how they need to be more like that.
Samuel, did you know that in 1776, the greatest nation to ever be birthed into the world, and he begins walking down the street, beginning to tell all kinds of stories of American history as he progresses on his way to the prison. You're welcome to keep up with him if you'd like, but he is not waiting for you.
I give Tom a big old smile and a chuckle and say, hopefully that works. I'll catch you later.
Have a good night, Sam. Better than they will. See you in the morning.
Yes, sir. And I'll take the prisoners or whatever, put them away with the police protectrons, and then head back to them at the diner.
Sure. Go for it. You guys are all in there having a good evening. There's some people hanging out, listening to some tunes. And you know who's there? It's probably our good old Rusty Dusty Bones. He'll be strolling in. Actually, you probably saw him outside, Sam. He was talking to some of the guards out there, some of the people that were just in the thing. But he'll probably come in maybe while you're there. So feel free to do what you want.
Jim, Raven, how y'all doing?
Just eating a lot of food. I'm hungry after what we did.
I hear that. I will join in with you. I'll go grab a bite. Can I sit down? Have my fill?
Go for it. As you're doing all that, Rusty and Lena walk in. They're chit-chatting, bullshitting about tomorrow. Lena, I think it's going to be great. This is one of the best training exercises I've seen the town put on in years. I think whoever winds up going, whether it's you or the others, it'll be fine, whatever the troubles are. And as for me, I am most curious about what cargo's on that boat, because for two different factions of people to be fighting over, it's got to be something good, right? I have a question, too, for it, Lena. Is this a boat that's been moving recently? Is this a wreck that was had before the war? I mean, this is the Ohio River. It's not like they're traveling gold up and down it, were they? Actually, were they? I don't think maybe gold, but if it's something... They don't care about gold. Why would they be after gold? That wouldn't help them very much, I don't think. Maybe weapons? Raiders like chems, they're often trying to get those. But what would Mothman cultists want with a boat? Oh, look, our friends are here. Hi, everybody. Welcome. Good to see y'all. I'm grabbing me some food. And they go ahead and they take their seats after they get food.
When I overheard you talking to Rusty, and that question's rattling around in my mind, what would the Mothman cultists want with a boat? I mean, they're also not people who are super technologically, inclined. So for them to maybe learn how to fix it up or they learn how to use it, they must really, really want it. So I was able to swipe up a couple Mothmen with the gang. Maybe they'll give us some answers.
I honestly don't have too much dealing with them, Sam. Up here, we haven't really had too many run-ins in. In fact, the most northern encounter we've had with them is the one, well, that you all reported, the Free Radicals getting taken out. And Rusty chimes in, and that was a bad encounter from what I hear. They were able to hit them in the middle of the night, kill a couple of their members of the free radical team, take the one with the power armor, kicking and screaming into the woods. Yeah, not a good thing the boys talk about. Not a highlight, but it'll probably stick with them for life.
It's just one
Not
of the
sure
many
my
things.
tribe is very tech backwards, Mr. Sam.
Well, hopefully we get answers tomorrow. Any thoughts, Jim?
Not really, no.
Well, I think it's a mighty fine idea. I think it's very impressive you were all able to gather them up here that quickly. I'm thinking we should all probably turn in as soon as possible, though. It's a good time to get some sleep. Start everything bright-eyed and bushy-tailed in the morning. I think it's going to be a good day. And we'll see where we net out. With new intel, with training in our way, it's going to be good. I'm sure of it.
Here's to hoping. I appreciate all of your help. Good luck tomorrow. And I figure we'll see you tomorrow, bright and early.
Sleep well, Samuel. We'll see you in the morning. Good night, everyone. With that being said, looking at the clock, we are going to go ahead and move into our 10-minute break period here. So we will run a 10-minute AFK. Everyone can regroup, regather, and reorient themselves for tomorrow's training exercise. Those will be taking place basically just around the church lot there, where they kind of have the fields and stuff, some open space. And yeah, you guys will have a couple different iterations that you can play through on some tests. I'll go ahead and set that up for you tomorrow. Well, as soon as we get back from break in the morning. So, everyone at home on Twitch, thank you. We'll catch you in 10 minutes. Stay sort of where you are. Go enjoy yourself for 10. I'm loving that clip. I love how he has that moment where he accidentally shoots the Brahmin and he's flipping all his abilities together. What makes you special?
I'd hate to see my real life special stats.
Say that again?
I would hate to see my real life special stats.
Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think I got all mine. I'm missing a whole lot.
Same. Perception is bad because I have horrible eyes.
Yeah. Bad perception, bad strength, bad endurance. What else? Intelligence is okay, but it's not a 10. That might be one of my only good ones. Not sure.
Luck isn't the greatest.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when I was younger, I was really lucky. Like when I was in college, I won. I went through this one summer where I was like entering a couple competitions online, like just little things through like Facebook and all that, and I won like a cool free pair of shoes, like a near $100 value. I got a canvas printing from a band I really liked that I won for free. Like I had this like one lucky streak, and I don't know. I guess I don't really find too much of that stuff these days online to enter. I don't stalk social media as much as then, but I don't know that my luck has ever been as high as it was in that moment. It was just one of those things that you was so lucky you could feel it. You know, it was just so palpable. I had that theory that I was like, well, if I just keep entering things now, I might just keep winning, but.
My sister has great luck. She wins like every radio station she calls into.
Wow.
I can't tell you how many free tickets she's won to stuff.
Really?
It's wild how lucky she is with that. She would definitely have a high one for that.
Gosh, that's cool. I must have respect. Agility is not good for me either, just as a heads up. I'm just thinking of the specials now. I don't know, man. I don't have them. But we will come back in just a minute early here and say to people, DK did decide to dip out tonight. He said he wasn't feeling well. So he's going to, I don't know, we'll leave his character behind in town tonight. Probably something to do with something he was eating there. I mean, he was saying he was, eating up all that food. So let's just hope he didn't go and get himself too much of that pink goo food paste, because that wouldn't be very good. For people at home, though, I'm sure you'd like to have a heaping spoonful of some pink food paste. Thanks to the U.S.'s Nutritional Paste Program, you can have all the sustaining nutrients and vitamins and everything else you need in a slop full of this. Just 3 trays of this every day, and you will be happy and healthy. No bad complaints about it have been lodged yet. So, enjoy. Okay. We'll give people an extra minute to kind of meander in here just in case from that break. We do have Raven back, so that's good. Shout out to Derek, who's lurking with us tonight. Anyway, I do feel bad. Poor DK is not feeling well, so hopefully we'll get him caught up in the next week. But we're going to leave his character behind here tonight, so we don't have to worry about Jim much in combat or otherwise. I don't want to get him hurt, wounded, or killed. So my thinking is, as you two are both getting back into the scene of things today, as you wake up in the morning, probably your 8 a.m. wake up, they're probably looking to start this training, say about 9 a.m. So you've got about an hour. And when you're waking up, I think Raven and Sam are the early risers for sure anyway out of this group. Jim's kind of the one to sleep in. I don't know which one of you would try and rouse him first, but whenever you attempt to do so, it looks like Raven might be out there. Maybe it's Sam that tries to shake him awake. Jim looks bad. He is pale. He's clammy, probably a little drenched in sweat. Jim does not look good.
He's not looking good, Raven. He's unresponsive right now. I go and get some water, put it on a rag, put it on his head. kind of give him the basic fever treatments.
Sure.
It looks like we'll have to train without him.
It's about this time as the door squeaks open. Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to make sure everyone is awake. The town is buzzed today. Everyone's ready for their training, and I want to make sure everyone here is in tip-top shape to do so. I see Sam and Raven, and where's Jim? Master Jim, you can't be sleeping all day. Today is a busy day. Oh, my.
He's
Mr. Al
unfortunately
Jim is sick.
indisposed.
Yeah, his eyes flip to both of you, who are like, you two are in two different directions, and his eyes pivot in those directions, so he's looking at both of you at the same time and goes, yes, in fact, my optical sensors say his temperature is much too high. We should get him to the infirmary. No, I will get him. No, it's quite hard for me to drag someone. It's a quite unpleasant experience, I've been told. You could help take him over to the infirmary very quickly. I'm sure Jacob's team, those that remain there, he's in town, but I'm sure they can get him nicely set up in a bed. It's just down the street, too. How convenient.
Yes. Maybe Jacob has an extra wheelchair, and I'll go grab one and wheel him over here.
Yeah, Jim looks pretty damn bad. He is, again, hardly recognizing you. When you get him in there, the medical staff's like very attentive to this. They go over to him, take his temperature, get him into one of the gurneyed beds. You know, the one asks you, is it something? He's looking really bad. You were part of the team that went out for the Mothman cultists yesterday, right? Is it that? You think it's foodborne? What the heck's wrong?
It could
with
be
him?
anything. Maybe he got bit by something while we were out in that jungle. You know, we don't know that forest. Could have been something out there. It could have been some of the food here. It's been known to make people sick from time to time.
Did Jim eat something, or did one of Mothman get him?
I don't know, Raven, but now's a good time to start praying to the Mothman.
Does Raven pray to the Mothman? Okay, I'm going to say, by the way, as you guys...
Dear wise one, please heal Jim.
At the moment that Raven sends out her prayer, she is immediately taken into a moment of out-of-body experience. Raven, you see your vision as if takes you, zooms out of your body. It's almost like you're in an aerial mode as you see yourself from up above looking down. You can see yourself, and before you can orient too much, your vision flies. You go quickly over the trees, over the hills, over parts of the road. You are flying back to the location you were just yesterday. And as you are about to near the area where you had been stationed in the woods, it's as if your sight, you go slam back down to the ground level, and now you're looking horizontally like we normally do. Instead of this vertical down view, you're now seeing straight ahead like normal. And you see two purple eyes in the woods there, and a voice that calls out to you and says, "Sister, it has been far too long for you to be away from us. It is time for us to commune with the Mothman, not the one of these lying, dim ones, but he who hath the vision to guide us to greatness." Raven, what do you want to do in this situation?
Master, I hear, guide me.
As you walk forward towards the two purple eyes, you tuck into the tree line. And you see them, now you getting into the dark of the trees. It's like they're recessing backwards into the woods as you go in. And there is a clearing now in front of you where you can see a silhouetted figure in black, much like what you have understood the Mothman to be, a somewhat roundish figure. And as you get closer, in a burst, in an instant, moths scour outwards in this great wave of them, as what remains behind is a man with a hood over his head, with a symbol of a Mothman in his chest that has 2 purple eyes. He goes, "Sister, my name is Observer Earl. You are about to embark on a journey you will not come out of the same you enter in. You are about to confront those who have darkened our light, and we cannot have such blasphemy claiming this land. You, sister, who are most recently from them, you must understand that what they worship is wrong. Sister, your time to bring these heathens to heel is here, and I must recommend, no, I must relate to you that he wishes none of these deceivers to leave these parts. Will you complete his task, Sister Raven of Clancy Manor?"
Yes, they have twisted the words. I should slay them all.
Well, then you walk with his blessing, and I'm happy to pass on and bestow that gift to you. Raven, pardon me 1 second. As you are in the middle of this, he is... You will walk with his side. Raven, you get a +1 to your perception temporarily for the rest of this session. I'll write that in there. +1. So as long as you're on this Mothman task in this session or next, you have +1 to your perception rolls. You will be guided by his light. You've already heeded some of his calling. That's why I'm here talking to you now. You've already seen some of his familiars out and about. Some of those wonderful little moths you've been following into dark places. And he says that he reaches out a hand to you as a moth just lands on the tip of his finger, most outstretched. Loyalty to the wise one is rewarded. He's not known for his patience, but he is known for his wisdom. He did save us all, after all.
Yes, Master, I will kill them all for the wise one.
And then we have to have a talk about that wonderful town you're a part of. What interesting people. It will be interesting to see if they are able to help with his mission, as they seem so keen to do now. But I wonder what they'll think when it's time to bring them to the light as well.
You know of Hope?
Oh, we know of so much with his word. We've been keeping a special eye on you. It is rare to find one who has such convictions as you. And it is beautiful that you have found such a rich flock to bring to our pastures. It might be possible that these people yet strive in their journey and make their way to Lantern as well. But that will depend on how well you do in persuading them, I suppose. It's unfortunate his gift is not one of charisma for one such as yourself.
Do you think they will follow the wise one? The dim ones make them scared.
Well, there is something aboard that boat which is of utmost interest to the wise one and myself and our congregation. You see, I will keep it brief and tell you that boat had previously been a vessel of ours for traveling to Point Pleasant. You may know of the equinox of the Mothman. In fact, we're coming upon one soon. It is reaching the end of September soon enough. And that is our time when we travel to Point Pleasant and we wash away the filth of these heretics, when we purge the town of those who would pervert his call. And it is the time when we indulge upon his dust to help us see what we cannot during the light of day. You see, we needed that vessel in our previous pilgrimage. We intended to bring a bigger presence as our enemies have been growing in strength. What used to be accomplished by four of our more resolute cultists has become more of a challenge. Appalachia has become a breeding ground for the dim ones. They worship those red-eyed Mothman, which are nothing more than feral dogs, but they worship them like gods. We can't stand for this. Your first task is to remove the heretics. Your second task is to bring your friends to the light before whatever reckoning comes to this land. But a judgment day is coming, and it is coming soon, I promise you that. These lands are ours. The Mothman's shrine, the Mothman's chapel, all of this land is rightfully ours. Now, we love some new congregants to the flock. Let them come with their arms open, and we shall receive them. But those who do not will be slaughtered like rabid animals in the streets, and we shall venerate him in their blood. And I'll envy you for your part in that mission. That is the danger of being an observer like myself, is that I do not get to directly partake in such earthly pleasures anymore. But you, just look at you. Your skills in battle have proven remarkable.
A holy vessel, we must take it back for the wise one. Master, do we have to kill the ones that don't believe they seem like nice people?
Well, there are only those who follow his guidance and those who do not. And as we've learned through experience, those who do not will lay ruin to this world and its people. And we will not be part of that again. We've seen what hiding can do. We've seen what happens when we retreat and allow bygones to be bygones. We've tried to play nice with those who don't see the light, but those days are beyond us now. You'll know what to do when the time is right. You have your task. And I have
Yes,
nothing
Master.
more to say to you until the job is done. And he quickly flicks his hand forward at you. You hear the chittering again of the Mothman. Your vision blown back, straight backwards this time. Not any kind of aerial view so much as you're just flown straight across the sky, right back into your body here in the street as if no time at all has elapsed. Sam, you just see Raven standing there as you were completing some of your thoughts, talking to some of the team, the medical staff there about Jim. You saw that she bent her head down to pray.
Oh, I didn't really notice the entire, her entire thing because it was so fast. So I just kind of go about, I say, well, Raven, looks like it's time to get to work. Thanks for giving him a little prayer. Hopefully, I don't know if that did anything, but hopefully it does something.
Yes, I have much to do.
Oh, well, I like that attitude.
Oh, Master Sam, Master Raven, I'm so glad you've delivered Jim. It's about time. We need to start making our way into town. Make sure you grab some food quickly. If you want to stop by the cafeteria, you have time. About a half an hour till the training begins. I'd like to give you some information about it before we get there. And so that you all know, for today's, we're gonna do this in probably within the next 20 minutes or so. That way you guys have time to move on to the next objective tonight. But for the meantime, you will have a day's worth of training up ahead. 4 different exercises you can partake in. Each one will last your character taking about 2 hours. This is emergency training. There's triage training that's related to curing injuries. You have a shooting range training, which you can focus on whichever type of weapon you want, whether that's small or big guns. You could do others as well if you want, but those are the primary 2. There's going to be a stealth course set up that has some bells, tripwires, and some guard patrols you need to kind of get around, as well as a scouting duty sort of mission where some of the tower guards will give people things to look out for, threats in the distance, other kind of alarming sights. If you complete these tests with a difficulty 1 completion, you will get a temporary increase to the governing special skill, or special attribute. So if you were to complete the medicine test today, you will get a +1 to your intelligence. If you do well at the shooting range, +1 to perception, do well at the stealth, +1 to agility, and the scouting duty is, it was going to be +1 to perception because that makes sense, but I'm going to actually do endurance for people. That way you have a chance to get something a little bit different. Actually, I don't think we do a lot of endurance tests. I'm going to leave it perception. Perception it is. You all benefit from more perception anyway. So if you succeed with a 1 on these tests, you get the temporary benefit. If you succeed with 3 or higher, you can get a permanent increase to the skill. So if you complete it with 1, you get a temporary bonus to the special attribute. Complete it with 3, you get a permanent +1 to that skill. So that would be medicine, that would be a gun skill, that would be a sneak skill, or it would be a survival skill. So you have a chance to really net out big. This is sort of just custom made to go with the idea that you guys had last week about doing this test. This is all fly by the seat of our pants with this, but I think this will be a fun way for you guys to gamble big on, just various upgrades to your character. I'll throw it out there and say, if you would do incredibly well, which should be like a 5 or higher on the test, and I know that's really out there, but if, I'm just adding this last second, but if it's a 5 or higher on the test, because it's so incredible, I would give a +1 to that special attribute moving forward. That could stay. But that's really up there. That's like really hard to do, just as a heads up. So, is that our next stop? Is the shooting range, so to speak? Or do you guys want to get any other morning tasks accomplished before the day's worth of training begins?
I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to get started.
Okay.
Was that is what you just described what Alfred had to say to us?
Indeed it is. He relays the majority of the information so that you know the background of it, because most of that's above board stuff that I can't tell you in game per se. They don't use +1s to that, so that's why I just wanted to tell you above board. But Alfred conveys that you'll have 4 courses to go through.
Oh, it looks like Raven said she's going to go to the diner, so I will follow her there.
Okay, you got a short time to go to the diner. I have no NPCs set up there for you, so you can do as you will. If you guys want to talk amongst yourself, by all means, but nobody, just so you're aware, no one's coming in to pass by and chat with you right now. People are very busy. You see people coming and going and taking, food for themselves and going out the door. Very much like a kind of grab bag day, if you will.
I'm gonna eat some food while I wait for Raven to collect her thoughts real quick, and then I'm ready to move on this.
What are you having for breakfast, Sam?
I don't know, maybe something light. Maybe a squirrel on a stick.
Ooh, yum! I love me some freshly grilled squirrel on a stick. Nothing gets the blood pumping.
Mr. Sam, what are you going to do with prisoner?
I'm thinking that we'll have a chat with him after all this is said and done. See what they have to say.
Quick interjection here. Based on the timing of these tests, I'll throw out another option. So the town's going to do these tests that start in about 30 minutes, a day worth of trainings. However, if you guys want to forego one of the trainings, you could go and talk with the Mothman. They give you a 2-hour window that you could skip out on a training of your choice. Just so you have that in mind. You could wait till later as well. However, I mean, I don't have a huge mechanic set up in mind that one will affect the other. Just to throw out there that, you got those couple trainings, those 4 trainings, and if there's anyone you don't really care to do, you could do that instead. Talk to them. Otherwise, they'll be there all day. Maybe, they'll just be where you left them.
I don't mind trying to do them all, because I think that it could benefit both of us a lot.
Sure. Go for it. Absolutely.
And then we'll just hit him up. We'll hit those fellas up later after we're done with this. So, do you want to go start with the first one, Raven?
Sure.
All right. Where are we headed to?
They are all congregated up next to in the church courtyard. This area, of course, is a little bit bigger than what you can see on the map, but this part of the church is sort of vacant space. There's gardens there. There's what you see are set up as some mock shooting ranges. There's some dummies out there that have been set up. You can see Tom's talking to some people, Lena. And as you guys are coming up to it, Tom does gather everyone's attention. The mayor kind of wanders around too. I don't even know where. Oh, no, actually, the mayor's still on his task from the night before. He hasn't moved. So Tom's there. He's organizing people. He basically tells everyone exactly what you heard from Alfred on the way over, which is that We got this all organized into 4 different courses for today, from triage that Jacob's going to be heading up. We got shooting range, which Hell's Bells will lead. We're going to do stealth course, which Lena will be walking people through. And some of the town guard here will be helping people with scouting duty, so you can get some ideas of what they keep their eyes open for, keeping this town safe. You could all take different turns going around, kind of round robin, go to whatever station you want to start, pick one that's not overcrowded already, and you can go from there. Every 2 hours, we'll blow the whistle, or have Alfred here make some noise, and you can go ahead and rotate at that stage, go on to the next. So you can see some of the people, you're like, go ahead, you're dismissed. We'll call out the start in just a moment. And everyone starts to kind of shuffle off into different groups here to proceed with their tests. Is there any you guys want to go for in particular, or you just want to take them in order 1 through 4 for the ease of it, starting off with Jacob's training?
Oh, let's do 1 through 4. That's easy.
Easy. So you guys wander over. You see Jacob's got a couple different triage kits kind of splayed out there. He's got about 2 or so helpers with him, and he greets you all, says, hey, everyone, good to see you. Thanks for coming to the triage. I know a lot of you already come in and see me at the clinic. Been getting that place mighty under control thanks to many of the people out here in the crowd now. We're going to be talking you through some emergency triage in case someone on your team or friend of yours in combat takes a good, healthy blow. We're going to be talking about how to stem the bleeding. And we're going to show you as best we can here with, we got some things of meat that my assistants will bring out here from the cafeteria. We got some supplies here. You can get familiar with these. He starts pointing these things out to you. And as you guys get into this session, you're spending about somewhere near like an hour, 45 minutes listening as they kind of do demonstrations and kind of walk you through things. And then they say, you know, we're going to have this last hour, which is where you can actually do some practice tests on this. So he's going to have people like practice making splints, practice, again, triaging, you know, any kind of big wound, tourniquets and things like that. So it comes down to the test portion where you all can make your rolls. So the very first would be intelligence and medicine, where you can both partake in this. You have 5 AP in your pool. You can buy more from me during this test. Of course, I will get AP to use in upcoming things. I have also, for the record, cleared my GM AP pool. Not that I use it very much in the past because I'm lazy, but it is at a healthy 0 right now. So going into this next battle, whenever we do it, is me empty-handed. So if you want to buy any AP, feel free to do so. But you're starting with 5 in the pool. I think...
Oh, wow. Sam, I can be doctor like you.
Yeah, this will be good. It'll be good for you to learn some of this stuff. Absolutely.
Jacob comes around. He goes, okay, you two ready? We're about to put your skills to the test. Everything you learned so far from our little crash course was good. First of the day, got the morning jitters. But let's hope you two prove me capable of being a teacher. That is.
All right, let's give it a go. I will pay 1
Sure.
in order to give it a try with an extra. Hopefully, maybe try to get those 5.
You could spend more if you want. Oh, by the way, you know what? I'll say this too. Your luck is reset at this point, but it will not be reset between now and the combat. So just bear that in mind. I just want you guys to have a full arsenal in front of you that if you want to spend luck to re-roll these rolls, you may, but then you're not going to have that luck point for the next battle, which is maybe completely okay for you. Just a little economy of choice there.
I may pay 2. I'm not going to do this for every single one, but this is one I wouldn't mind trying my best to get another special on.
You could get from this, Sam, a temporary special, a permanent skill, and a permanent special increase.
Yeah, see, that's having an extra intelligence point would be really awesome.
So actually, I think that would be, you're going to do two dice now, or just one? Sorry.
Oh, I'll do, yes. So, oh God, that's a lot of money.
You can always buy more.
I feel bad. Raven,
wait.
is that okay? I don't want to hog it.
That would be back. That's your correct
Oh,
number.
okay.
I had taken
Okay,
one away for
okay.
you. So you have 2 left.
All right. I just don't want, okay, sweet. Just double checking.
I just
I
don't
want
want
to
the
check with the
GM to
gang.
have too many points.
That's true. I don't want it to be direct.
I got 0. Okay, Sam's up. 2 successes and a critical. So with 2 successes, you would get your temporary. Again, you have luck that you can re-roll on these things. Max says bye.
Do the failures do anything?
Not at this time, no. These are not real people you're testing it on, so I don't think there's a meaningful... Well, actually, I mean, I think it's more of an ego thing. If that critical stays, Sam probably just does a really bad job following along on that. I think the worst you're going to get from this, if you keep that critical failure complication, is that Jacob's going to be disappointed in you. He's going to be like, yeah, this is the second time you told me you were a medic, and... leaving a lot to be desired. He hasn't said that though yet. You can decide what you're gonna do here.
I'll pay one luck to try to re-roll the 20.
Yeah, and you can also do it with 19 too if you really want. You can... Boom! You now have +1 to your medicine skill. And again, a temporary +1 to your intelligence. The way I would handle that is that you on your character sheet can like fully upgrade your medicine to a point. But with the temporary intelligence, we'll just try and use that in the future when it comes to those rolls. Like, so if you're off by 1, we'll need to like manually readjust it.
Sweet. I don't know if I want to gamble anymore.
That's your choice, man. You can do what you want. You could theoretically re-roll the 19 and the 9. Oh, no, wait. Sorry. Oh, sorry. None of these are success? Wait. Hold on. What's the math on this? You're tagged in medicine?
Yes.
If you're tagged in medicine...
Wait, no, maybe not. Yes, no. I don't think so, honestly.
Really?
I'm not sure. Because it doesn't say it on the screen right now.
Huh.
No, I am.
Yeah, I see you are. So isn't that anything under a 4 is a success, critical success. So 10's your target number. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 right now. This is why we can't. This is admittedly why we can't trust alchemy completely.
Okay, I'll do it.
You do, yeah. You have 4 out of 5 needed right now. As long as you get under a 10, like what, a 50-50 chance, basically.
That's really, to save a perk down the road and not have to boost intelligence, that could be really worth it for just one easy luck point. All right, I'll do it.
Reset.
Oh my God, 1 off. Oh God.
Oh. I'm not trying to bend over too hard to give this to you, but I think there could be something where I guess I will throw this out there since you two are doing this together. If Raven if you two decide that she could assist you, one of her potential successes on this test could just be moved to you. Like so does that make sense? She could roll right now and assist for you, which is basically like she like hands you something or she like helps you like, hey, you missed a spot, sort of thing. But that would just take 1 away from her test if she succeeds. So if she gets a 3, it would be 2 for her. She likes the idea. Raven, you could go ahead and roll. Why don't you roll your entire, however much you want to roll for this, Raven? You could, with what's in the pool right now, you could be rolling 3 dice. If you want to spend 1 point, you would roll 3. Or you could buy an extra point. You could roll an additional 2. You could buy more. But since you two are in this as a team, I'll give you that opportunity where you guys can kind of help each other a little bit on this. Sam is so close. Again, I'm not trying to be like, give it to him, but I think it is already a mechanic in the game. You're going to buy 2. Okay. So that means all of your pool is gone and I get 1 point. Okay. So you're rolling 4 dice, Raven, for a medicine and intelligence test. Come on, Raven. I think that was probably very well worth it for you. So instead of you getting a +1 to your intelligence this round, Raven, you will get nothing from this test. In this case, you forsook your own work to help out Sam. And in that moment, Sam, you now have 5 successes, which grants you your boon.
You are a very real one, Raven. Thank you.
You now have a temporary +1 to intelligence, a permanent +1 to intelligence, and a permanent +1 to your medicine skill. And
Look me a drive.
Jacob comes over and goes, No, you're not. No, actually, she shouldn't touch any bodies. If it comes down to it, Sam, you don't let her stitch up your wounds. You go to someone else. She's a nice person, but don't let her stitch you up. How you, on the other hand, though, this is good. Look, you even got that spot I didn't think you'd see on the test. That's impressive. I'm really impressed by that, Sam. Good work.
I appreciate it, but I couldn't have done it without her help.
Well, mighty fine of you to say it. And about that time, you hear the whistle. And you hear Tom yell, "Okay, everyone, good work. For those of you that passed your test, it's time to rotate. Everyone, new position, new task." And with that, you are moving over with Hell's Bells, who is setting up the shooting range. She's got some makeshift pop-up targets over there. Alfred goes, "Oh, this is lovely to see you all. I will be the one holding these targets, so I would love if you don't make any mistakes and shoot off an optical sensor or a hand. I can't regrow those so easily." And Hellspells goes, "Exactly what he said. He is going to be our moving target man of the day. He's going to hold up little prop dummies. Do not miss and shoot our Mr. Handy unit. That would not be a good win for the day." So she's going to talk you through a couple different guns that are common to this part of Appalachia, things that are easily gotten a hold of at Hope. She walks you through ways to reload them and gives you all the option. This is one that's sort of important to Raven to make the choice. You could use this as an option for small guns or big guns. This means that the big gun's what governs the large cannon and the tank, or the APC. So just as a heads up to you, this one has a gun skill of your choice on the line, as well as a permanent and temporary perception point. So, without further ado, Hell's Bells does her speech. She says, "Okay, everyone, to the shooting range. Let's go. I know you guys got some good skill. Let's see you put it to the test today." And Mr. Handy goes out there. "Okay, I'm ready. The last group didn't blow an eye out, so I'm hoping you won't either."
Question.
I want to try something bigger, Sam. What would recommend?
What do you have? I mean, you have that flamer. That's a pretty big one. You could ignite the targets.
Yeah, you could do that, says Hellspells. It has a different weapon than I expected, but you could do that.
But that would roast Al.
As long as you just get on the target, it shouldn't travel too far. but it's whatever you have. I mean, I don't know if there's an extra minigun lying around.
For the sake of today's
I'll
test,
BBQ.
there would be, yes. She'd have a couple extra guns out for people.
I have a question. Can we use perks and aim for this?
I can use perks and aim for that's a really great question. Yes. Yes, you may. Yes, you may.
Is that mini-gun, Miss Bells? May I try that?
Yes, you may. It's quite a heavy one. She like clunks it into your hands. Yeah, they don't, not a lot of people running around with these in the woods these days. Not unless they're in power armor already.
Oh, that big boy.
It is. But it puts a bunch of holes in the enemy, and so it gets the job done. Quite a popular choice in the Wasteland. And so whoever wants, I mean, I don't want to cut your RP short, but I just want to say, if you guys want to go ahead and do rolls, these will be your perception and your governing skill for it. So small guns, big guns are covered by it. Let me check, making sure. Oh, big guns is endurance, by the way. So I'm just going to retract kind of like, you're going to get the skill points that's appropriate to you. So just so you're aware. You could get an endurance out of this. Or
Time
perception.
to duck Al.
Okay, I'm ready. Fire away. And he holds up these kind of cloth dummies on sticks. He's got them in his pincer on sticks. Raven connect. Oh, is that Raven? Yep, Raven connects, and Sam connects as well.
I would like to re-roll it with trigger discipline
Sure.
if possible.
Go for it. One
A little bit
success.
better, but not great.
Yeah. Both of you, Raven, you get +1 to your endurance, and Sam, I guess we said it's small guns. It's agility. It shouldn't have been perception. No, I'm sorry. This was agility or endurance. My bad. So you get a temporary to your agility. So +1 endurance to Mac temporarily. Remember, this is the one not to add to your stats. This is just a +1 in the future. So if Raven, if you go into this combat using big guns, you will get 1 lower on your target number, and the same for Sam there. You'll get 1 lower on your target number. So your target's 12, Sam. If you rolled a 13, that'd make it a 12. Same for Raven. If your target is a 6 and you rolled like a 7, you'd get a success on that. Not too bad, everyone. Good shots. You all know what you're doing in this. Good work. Great to see you here. And with that, the bell whistles and you're on your way to the next. And the next one you all have is the stealth course, which I think we said Lena's heading that one up. You go over. Lena's chit-chatting with some other people. She goes, okay, everyone, for the next round, I will be talking you through how to get around tripwires, how to look out for bells, other kind of alarm systems that may be set off, and ultimately keeping your eyes on guard patrols. So we got some nice little setups here. These are pretty typical ones you'll see across the Wasteland. We recommend in some of your combat kits you take some wire snips, because these tripwires are especially prevalent amongst raiders and cultists that are out there, people looking to protect their little lot. Sometimes they can be rigged to mines or other explosives. Sometimes they're just linked to bells, whistles, and other sorts of alarms. And we're going to go through here and try and get you all better at your stealthiness. So let's go ahead and practice, everyone. And you go on through. She does her lecture. She kind of shows off some different things. And if you'd like to all make your way into doing your next test, which is agility plus sneak. And the same goes, if you guys want to really shoot your shot on this one, you can buy extra AP from me if you want to do larger rolls. But unless there's any questions from you all, you can go ahead and proceed to this task.
Do these temp effects start when we're doing this next time, or do they start immediately after these tests? Because, technically, do I get 1 agility for this? I mean, I'm fine with waiting.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You get your perks now. Good question.
Sweet.
Great question. Did that actually help you?
Yes, I
It
mean, because
did.
otherwise my target number would be 10.
That's so funny. So you got a 2 on that one. That's cool. I guess it doesn't really help you, but yeah, but you do pass. Actually, in hindsight, and I'm sorry, I'm not doing this. I didn't do it retroactively. I don't know that it really matters. But because you achieved one of these scores but fell short of another, I'm gonna give you the 1 AP for that. Like you got the 1, but there's nothing for 2. If you had scored 3, you wouldn't get the AP, if that makes any sense. But if you got 4, you'd get an extra AP from that. So you got 1 from that, Sam. You generated 1, and especially because your temporary perk got you that.
Sweet, thank you.
And Raven, you're up next. If you want to spend luck points, again, you've right now in your pool, there's the ability for 1, but you could also buy more. This is pretty important to you, I think. I think you like your agility and your sneak skills. So if you're looking to ramp those up, these could be times to buy AP. Or not. Owl yells over, by the way, while you're thinking, goes, "Thanks for not shooting me." You're going to buy 2. Okay. So you go in the -1 and, I go in the positive +2 extra from that, and you go to a cleared pool. So you spent your points. Now you'll be rolling 4 dice. This is your sneak and agility, Raven. Come on, you're good at this.
I will get you next time, Al.
Oh, I sure hope not. Come on, Raven. 2 successes on this. Let's make sure.
May
our math is
I-
correct. Yeah.
Would it be a possibility for me to give my point to her?
Ooh. I think so. I will say yes, but I will take that AP back. Yes. Yes. So Raven spent 3 AP to do that. Wait, is that the... Yes, that's correct. That would be the correct math from that. Yes, you can have gotten a 0 on your test to assist her on that one. And so she now has 3. And Raven, if you want to re-roll any of yours, the 15 and the 17 would be the best. If you could theoretically re-roll a 6, but you don't really want to do that probably. But well, that actually, I'm sorry. You don't need to keep that, just as a warning. I'm sorry, I spoke too soon. This is if you really want to go far. So you got 3, you get at least +1 to your sneak from that. Because you got 2 successes and Sam gave you another, so you 3. If you want to get 5, the 20 didn't work. You can let me know if you want to do that. That spending of your luck to re-roll that is completely optional. And you may even have a perk for this too, I don't know. I don't think you do, but you could. I don't think so, though. I don't think you have a sneaky perk. You got the Pyromaniac perk? Wow.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I told her to use a flamer. I felt that she did.
So you still have an option now. If you really want to go for the 5, if you could get that 15 down to a 5 or less, it would count as 2. But that's the best. That would take, you'd be spending 2 luck on that. So it's your choice. You can either spend your 2 luck and you'll walk away with a 3. No, sorry. You keep your 2 luck and walk away with a 3, or you spend your 2 luck and have the chance of getting a 5. Your choice. Your luck pool's topped off, though, right now, just as a heads up. We'll see what happens. What's Raven gambling on here, folks? Can she do it? Time will tell. Okay, keep your luck, keep your roll. You walk away with a temporary +1 to your agility and a permanent +1 to your sneak. So you should go add that to your sneak right away. Or at least make a note that you do not forget to do that. your sneak will be capped out at level 6 now, so that's really great. And with that, the whistle blows. Lena comes up and says, "Oh, well, Raven, that's a freaking fantastic job. You did great on that. Sam, maybe you try not to be the guy going through any of the untouched corridors yet. Let her lead the pack. You stay back. Probably not good for the field medic to get his hands blown off, that sort of thing, you know? Just play to everyone on the team's strength. No I in team and all that."
Most definitely. If I'm crouching too much, they'll hear my knees creaking. So I'll stick to the back.
Well, you know, whenever you go out there in the wasteland, if you find yourself some robotic legs, I'll be happy to cut your knees off and place them on there for you. Don't you worry about it, Sam.
I will keep my eye out. Thank you.
And Tom hollers off, "Okay, everyone, get to your next spots." And this one's just being hosted by a couple of the guards from town. In fact, if you want to be really nerdy about it, they're over by one of like the guard outposts that are like up against the wall over there, probably like out looking over the cemetery or something like that. You know what? That's for the lore of it. That's where they're doing it. They have a couple things set up in the cemetery, like behind tombstones and stuff like that. Sam, exactly where you are. There's kind of a little wall encampment sort of thing there. Used to have it on the map, not anymore, but there's kind of one of those little wall boxes and up on a little tower. And it's not so high up that you can't hear a guy. You know, he's up there. He's leaning down and kind of talking over you all. Just sort of like perfect level to be preaching to people here. And he's like saying, you know, "Hey, we're going to be looking out for a couple items that we're always searching for. Me and the guys who do the guard routine here, we keep our eyes open for all kinds of oddities. First of all, this is going to sound super obvious. Sorry to have to say it, but be looking out for lights of any kind, various colors. Be mindful of what look like artificial lights, which could be indicative of some of the robots out there." And he kind of points over to like a police protectron. You see like his little light on his head. Stray robots known to come through towns and massacre the whole place in their sleep. We're not letting that happen here. Sometimes there's also creatures that glow. You may have seen some irradiated ghouls out there. Look out for that. And he kind of walks you through a couple other odds and ends. He goes, "Okay, we're going to be, I'm sorry it's daylight, so this is a bit maybe trickier of a test, but so can be looking out in the day. It's when people's guards are at the lowest." And he has you all do a little bit of a perception out there into the graveyard. He's like, "What I'm going to have you do is you're going to come up to the top of this, and you're going to have only 10 seconds to identify where the target is in the graveyard. No more, no less. 10 seconds. Well, less. No more than 10 seconds. Tell us what you find, and if you get it right, you're good. And if not, you're dead, theoretically." So, who's up first?
I won't be able to see it, so let's get this over with.
Okay, get up here, old man. Let's see what you got. And this is a perception plus survival test. Something Raven may be really great at. And Sam...
Come on, Sam, you can do it.
True to his word. "Well, old man," he claps you on the shoulder. He says, "Sorry to say, but in that time, they would have blown you to high hell. Remind us not to put you on guard duty here."
Yeah, I just need you guys to get the eyes on it for me, and then I'll point and shoot.
Got you. He helps you down the ladder. "Okay, Raven, you're up next. Get on up here."
Sam need glasses.
Better be careful. They don't try and give him new eyeballs, Raven. So, Raven, you scurry up there. "Okay, time for your test. Let's see what you got." And again, 10 seconds. He hits his little stopwatch timer thing. And you can spend points, by the way. Again, if you want to give me more, you're welcome to do that. 2 successes. Well, as it stands, if you walk away with this, you could spend a luck point, reroll a 17. The 4 is really great. That's groovy there. But for the 17, if you want to luck re-roll it, you could wind up even better. If you got below a 14 on that, you would get a permanent +1 to your survival skill. Actually, because the game caps them at 6, you will get a point that you can spend on something else, I think. Your survival's already at the max cap. I don't know what to do. If bumping it up one's better or just giving you a different perk. Probably a different skill. But it's your choice. You don't have to do that, but you could. And you're right on the verge of it, and you got a really good chance. You're saving your luck, really. If that's your wish, then there you go. You do have a chance to permanently get an extra skill point, though, but it is your choice. Okay. She opts not to do it. She keeps her luck. Well, great work on that, Raven, as expected. That's what all that time out there in the wilderness taught you, I'm sure. Okay, at the next whistle, we're bringing this thing to a close. And with that, you do hear Tom brings it to a close and goes, okay, everyone, rally on me. Let's see how we did. I just running around chit-chatting with some of the instructors today, and I gotta say I'm really proud of what everyone out here has been doing. He has been kind of making his way about through all this. He himself wasn't hosting any singular session, so Tom was kind of going around checking in on who's doing what. Gives him sort of an idea of what's going on in the town. He goes over to the three of you, or well, two of you. We'll say Alfred's with you too. This is sort of as the group of people's kind of mulling around. He's doing this before they're all fully gathered. He goes, hey, you two did great today. I'm really sorry to hear that Jim's laid up sick. It makes me wonder, do you guys want to put off this endeavor for an extra day? And I suppose what he's asking, by the way, when I say day, is it's 10:17 p.m. right now in real life. I am fine with you guys doing a battle, but it would be one that you do without Jim, and it would be a little bit time crunchy, just in the sense that we have a hard cap at 45 minutes. The other alternative is you could spend a bit more of this time conversing with the people of the town and also maybe talking to the Mothman cultists for tonight. And that could be your remainder of your session for this evening. So if you want to tell Tom to, that we're going to make sure Jim is healthy and rested, that's okay. Again, it was a temporary sort of a TBD on the time of the invasion or attack or whatever you want to call it.
I would like to do the latter because there's some stuff I'd like to do. I'd like to get like the entire infiltration bit done, and that might take some time. So I'd like to wait till next week to do the actual invasion.
Sounds good. Honestly, between you and I, Sam, that might be even better because, well, as they always say, the walls have ears, and I don't know. It's never a bad thing to switch up the day and time of an invasion or an attack on a group, just in case. Plus, you guys were there in the last 12 hours, 24 hours, so.
Yeah, they might get an idea now that their two buddies haven't come through.
That's my thinking as well, Sam. Okay, well, everyone, now you're all gathered around. Good. You all did very well today on this very first Hope training course day. I'm really proud to see a lot of our townsfolk, folks who spend a lot of time doing our more manual labor, those of you who are tending the fields, those of you who are keeping the stores run. I'm glad all these people could make their way out and attend these various sessions, and I hope you all take away something from it today. You did very, very good. I'm proud of all of you. And look, I could take up more of your time talking and bullshitting about this, but I think I'll let you go. I know many of you probably want to go eat. It's been a long day. We did 4 tests, so that's 8 hours worth of tests have been had today. I'm sure you guys got a little lunch break in there at some point, but yeah, it is 8 hours later at the end of all of this. So it is now what we start at 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 p.m. So it's kind of the perfect time to split for dinner as everything's coming to a sort of close up here. And, there's just a constant atmosphere of people milling about and chatting with one another and all the rest. So if you guys want to say anything to these guys now, you can. I'm sure a lot of other people will be shuffling through to the diner and things like that. A cafeteria.
All right, Tom, I think I'm going to go have a word with our pals that we brought in last night. If Raven would like to come, she's more than welcome to as well.
Good luck to you, Sam. Hope they spill the beans, so to speak.
We'll see.
Good luck.
I'll catch you later.
Okay. So you two are down to the jail.
Raven, I'm hoping I sent Smiles out here to work him over throughout the night. I'm hoping that that didn't give him any opportunity to pray to their Mothman or anything. Who knows? We've had a lot of weird stuff happen with you doing that, so they might have been able to get a link back to their group or something. So hopefully that stopped them from being able to even think.
You go in there, and there's one police protectron in the center area. Greetings. You are looking for the Mothman prisoners. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Please proceed down the stairs. You will find them at the end of the hall, restrained. Make your way down.
Make my way down.
It's kind of, again,
Walk
that's
through.
sort of small, cramped jail cells on both sides. You make your way to the back, and as you get down there, you hear the mayor. He goes, Chapter 13, Early Settlements. Europeans brought horses, cattle, and hogs to the Americas and took back maize, turkeys, tomatoes, potatoes, tobacco, beans, and squash to Europe. Many explorers and early settlers died due to being exposed to new diseases in the Americas. And he's just going on and on and on, basically reciting all of early American history to the cultists. And as you're getting closer to their cell, you see one of them sitting on the floor with his hands on his temples, and he's sort of rocking back and forth with his legs crossed. And he goes, Holy Mothman, please hear me. Help me through these bindings that keep us here. And the other one goes, and take away this incessant infernal machine, for it speaks only lies.
I make my way into eye view of them, and I say, how's it going, fellas? Not Mothman, but Sam Houston. Pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
The one who is not on the floor rocking, the other one, in his own separate cell, he looks at you and goes, Why have you taken us?
Well, it seems that you have been the one who's been doing a lot of the taking here recently, so I was more inclined to ask you that question. Why have you taken the free radicals?
I do not know who that is. You have taken me from my perch. I was overseeing his greatness and his mission. You have brought me to somewhere unclean, perverted, and foul.
All right, cut the dramatics, buddy. It's no more perverted and foul than anywhere else in this wasteland.
He
Now,
looks around at the bars and the metal and the concrete. I beg to differ.
You may not know them as the Free Radicals, but you may have seen a group of guys, one of them in big, shiny armor. You know what I'm talking about?
No. We have not seen anyone in shining armor, though we have killed plenty who have stood in our way, some in power armor, not so shiny.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, power armor. You have some of those guys recently?
We've killed many in this wasteland who stand in our path, and most recently a few.
Now, I know that they were there looking for something. And I have an idea on what that something is. Do you want to share with me what it is?
His light. They're all looking for his light, but they are like rabid dogs. They know not where to search. They have not seen his path.
If by his light you're referring to a nickname for a boat, like they used to do in the old days, that's more akin to what I'm talking about. You know, the thing that takes you on water.
A boat. I know of boats. I don't think they want boats. They want enlightenment. They want to see the path. This is not some hidden phrase. This is not a name of a vessel. They want freedom from this accursed place, as do we.
How about do you believe in bringing that freedom?
Through the holy Mothman's guidance. And as we bring him and them to this place, we will guide you back away from this tainted world of machines, metal and steel. We will take you back to the woods, back to where it all began, back to where we can find peace.
That area in the woods that y'all were in, have y'all been there long? Is that, I mean, y'all didn't just come across this place recently, or have you been there for a while?
I think at this point you can go ahead and roll a difficulty 2 speech and charisma test to see what sort of persuading and convincing you might be able to do to get the coax information out of this guy.
I will pay you for one more die.
Okay.
And also, would I be able to use Smooth Talker on this as well?
Yes.
All right, sweet. Okay, I will roll that up. One moment. Beautiful.
Oh, nice. Great. You can add that 1 AP back to your pool. We have only been there recently, as of a week, maybe 2 at most. The biggest confusion of the timing is between when we killed the free radicals, as you call them, and got them out of that area, only to make totems from what was left of them. Now they're at peace. May they find the Mothman in their death, and may he shepherd them into the divine eternal light.
I turned to Raven and I kind of, say under my breath, I guess it answers the mystery of where those guys went. I turned back to the guy and I asked him to tell me more about this boat. I know you have a boat there. I've heard of it.
What do you want to know about it? It's a boat. It sits on
What's
the
the
water.
purpose of it?
It
floats. Why do you need it? What are you using it for?
We don't need it, except it could serve our purpose. But need is a stretch. You might know that Appalachia was recently depopulated due to what your people call the Scorched Plague. We also had left the region, as many thousands of ours were killed to the same plague. However, many of us, our progenitors especially, were able to flee. We've recently come back to Appalachia in the last 2 odd years. And the battle continues between some of our sect who have fallen to false prophecy and those of us who are loyal to the woods, to the first priestess of the wood. Bright-winged one sleeps beneath the earth. The silent watching one sleeps beneath the sea. We will use the boat to bring back more of our own from across the river, to ferry them to their salvation. This is our land, not yours. You will convert or you will die. It is as simple as that. and in your death you will find the light, one way or another.
So, with your little monologue there, gives me the idea that there's not many of you out there, right? Maybe only like a forwarding party to take that position. Maybe you only had a couple of guys. Do you have numbers for me?
No, I do not have numbers for you. If you plan on torturing it out of me, that could be a different story. But no, I will not forsake our path and our mission.
That boat belongs to the wise one, not you dim ones. You have betrayed the true one. I will take I back.
Ha! You're one of them. He just kind of takes notice of you now, Raven, as you probably step a little out of the shadows. And the other one sits up as well at the revealing of your presence. It's one of them. One of the so-called enlightened. You're not enlightened. You're insane. Come away from your pinnacle, your perch at Lantern to come back for us. It's not the time of your equinox. But is that why you're here now, hunting us in advance? Oh, holy Mothman, I call upon your light to burn the evil out of those who walk amongst us. For these are heretics, false ones, deceivers and betrayers.
You will answer Sam question or face the wise the one wrath.
The other one says, I don't believe that you have anything at your disposal to make us speak. What do you even know of our place in this world? Where are you from, sister? Can't have gone too long without hearing of our successes in the region. We're not going anywhere. This is our time. This is his time. Just as Brother Scarberry predicted, we shall see him glow. You're praying to the Mothman for help. Why don't you go ahead and roll 2 d20s just to see what you get. No skill test attached to that. Oops, that's not good. I opened the wrong page.
I come from the manor, the place you and the others chase me and others out of.
The manor chase you out of. The manor's always been under our control. You tell me too much. Maybe you are the dim one. That is our people. Clancy Manor, you're referring to, remains under our watchful gaze. If you are from there, then it is you who is the turncoat. When did you leave this region?
Months ago.
Then they have led you astray, and you will be brought to the light just as we. I go to the divine light. The divine light can be seen, and more will come to take my place. I will have no regrets. It is you who will regret your choices.
No, you see the must-see truth. The wise one is real. He talks to me.
Delusions, you and your hysterical dust. It is no surprise that the so-called enlightened ones have teamed up with these mongrels in this town. Wherever you hold us, he will know.
No dust, only truth.
Well, then let me deliver the hard truth unto you, betrayer. He knows now where you reside, and there will be no peace for these people, for I have seen beyond my body. I have seen where I am, and they will come to a reckoning within this short lifetime.
The wise knows where you people are to it, not too late.
You could try a speech and charisma test on this Raven if you want to try and convince this guy. To convince him now if you actually want to try and convince him, it would be an extremely difficult 5 difficulty test. I'll say this, it should be a 5, but I'd even let a 4 pass it. But and Sam could help, but it's gonna be real difficult.
Are we open to more role play too? Because I
Sure.
I had something else I wanted to try
Sure,
on him.
go for it.
All right, so Raven, I remember you telling me something about your culture's burial ceremonies. You know, the body has to be buried, has to be cremated or something along those lines. But I believe, you know, along the lines of it, has to be somewhat complete. And I go into the cell where our pink goo stricken friend is, and I get some shackles and like I'm assuming there's also one of those like neck bracers there that I can kind of hold him with, make sure he's not biting me.
Sure.
And I take him in there, and I take him in the cell with these guys, and I tell them, but I'm also guessing that means you won't be able to go see the Mothman if you guys are eating.
Sam, what are you doing?
I try to whisper under my breath that these are empty threats, and not to worry, Raven. I'm just threatening them.
He does not care what form we take in our death. If this mistaken one has misled you, then the fault is your own. The great moth, the bright one, he will accept us as we are. The followers of the winged one believe that in death the holy Mothman will shepherd us into the divine eternal light, for he is our God. He is attracted to the light of this hellish world, this glow brought by your weapons of war, the ones that you continue to use.
I can tell that this guy that I'm talking to is not the one who's going to break, but his other friend, he's been a little bit more stressed out. He's been a little bit more anxious. He's been a little bit more like when Raven like kind of introduced himself, he was kind of quick to be like, oh my goodness. So I think that he might be a little bit more inclined to talk to me. So I take our friend and I kind of get him close, and he's biting, you know, just right close to this guy. And I tell him, you know, you might still be able to see your Mothman and everything, but it's gonna hurt a lot getting there. And, I know that no one enjoys that.
He looks at you with trembling eyes. And he says, and he actually looks right past you to the other cell, and he says, "Forgive me. Grow out to him." And he breaks one of his teeth, which would seem to have some sort of poison in it. And in just seconds, from his position of sitting on the floor and looking over at his brother, he collapses to the side. And the other one who you just got done talking with just starts laughing. "Oh, brother, you will find salvation in the light, and let you two be damned." And in the time that you both look between the two of them, all of a sudden, a vine spurts out of that guy's chest, and it goes right up into the ceiling. Another vine goes right through the jail cell. Why don't you both make some sort of roll here to see if you can dodge out of the way?
Oh, wow.
Actually,
I heard story, but didn't think it was true. Sam, run.
You know what? I'm going to... he gets 1 failure and 1 success on this. Sam, you are the closest, I'm guessing, based on what you just said. The ghoul fellow that you have, like the feral ghoul kind of pink goo person you have, is directly impaled with this vine that shoots out strong enough to bend the bars, as it also lodges up into the wall, as you just hear the maniacal chuckle of the other Mothman cultist in the other cell. Let's see. Part of this is going to connect with you, Sam. He is going to do 4 points of damage. 4 points of damage to your torso as it scrapes by you right after it punctured directly through that other man's chest in front of you. If you have torso armor, you can mitigate some of that damage. But again, 4 points of damage. It's 4 points of damage to the torso.
I think I have 1 physical mitigation.
Great. Then you're down to 3 on that. Another vine bursts out into the wall next to it, and you can see some of the cinder blocks begin collapsing. There's dust that pours in. The protectron that's down there. Warning, warning, this region has become unsafe. All people in this vicinity are at great risk. And the protectron that was upstairs begins coming down the stairs.
This is a lawful use of deadly force. Please direct complaints to your local law enforcement authorities.
And he pulls up his arms ready to fire. They see that you're in the way.
Warning, hostiles in area, please. Clear the area until order has been restored.
The ceiling begins to collapse in. The Mothman that's still in the cell, if you two are interested in backing out of this hallway before it would seemingly collapse, then the last thing you would see of him is a wide smile, laughing grin in there as he goes, "I told you your time would come." And as you all, I'm assuming you're going to back out. You can correct me if you don't, but he begins to slink into the darkness in the back corner of his cell. You may make your decisions now.
I take my flamer and then attack the vine and yell run.
Sure. With that, Raven, let's go. You're mainly aiming it at the vine You're not aiming at the body of that man. You're not aiming at the other one, just to be clear. You could make, if you choose to attack either of the guys, you're going to need to stay closer to it. You could attack some of the vines as you're walking away and be relatively okay.
The vines.
Just the vines. Very good. You blast them with fire as some of them ignite. Now the hall lit with flame as it just fire is growing up and down the vines. Raven, you hear out of the corner of that cell one last chuckle before you leave. He goes, I told you he would find you. This is all according to plan. Holy Mothman, take my brother, and Holy Mothman, take me. As you see the whole building, actually, Sam, you would probably notice this first as you're upstairs. The front door and some of the windows on the side burst open to this place. The whole building is filled with moths to an absurd degree, insane level. They're just coated in moths. It's almost dark on the inside as they rush down the stairs like these giant, like almost reaching arms of their own, just full of moths. They go down, and Raven, the last thing you see is they all swarm into that cell. Some burn up by the fire that blocks their path, but the rest make their way in with him. And that's the last you see before you take out of the building. Now it on fire, engulfing more and more space. The mayor, who makes his way upstairs, you hear the final Protectron downstairs let off a few laser blasts as it begins to go up the stairs and say, warning, structural integrity critical, building structural integrity reaching fatal levels for all those inside. Please evacuate the building. And they make sure to shuffle you out the door as you see vines that break through the floor of that police station, some that break through the wall as well. Now the whole building slowly catching ablaze.
Wise one, guide me, Sam, this bad. We got to stop this plant.
Wise one, guide me.
Let me go get Alfred as well. Maybe he can try to freeze it with the new cryolator.
I wonder, Raven, if the Mothman would reach out to you in a time like this. Why don't you roll combat die and see if you get an effect? That's what I might make you start doing during a prayer, is roll combat die and see what sort of responses you get. You know, with that, Raven, with 2 on that, you hear the same as you've become accustomed to today. You hear the skittering as your eyes go dark, your vision clouded, and you find yourself back in the wood with Observer Earl as he goes, oh, my dear sister, what hell have we wrought here? I fear you have brought our undoing. What creature has awoken in Appalachia? This was not our task. Something has gone wrong, sister. You are in great danger, as are the people you know. As I listen, they know of you. I think where you reside...
They have evil power more than ever help us.
Where you reside is in great danger. Much worse than I thought. Your job was to claim this town as our own, but I fear your friends are about to be fodder to a much, much worse beast than what they keep on a leash. How much do you know about a creature some refer to as an interloper? You can see Observer Earl is much distracted by this great seismic shift in. It seems the problem in this case is that not only did you bring them into your midst, but they were watching the entire time. There is a shift already throughout Appalachia. I can sense it.
Never saw or hear of much of it, just thought it was made up.
Oh, I think we're about to see a whole different side of the beast itself. And no, it was not made up, as Great Brother Charles led us to the mine to avoid the apocalypse. There it was seen, and we found its remains. They're very real. And I fear what you have done on this day may have brought something much darker to the forefront. I don't have much time to talk to you. I will take my leave. I hope you survive, sister, and I sure hope your friends do as well. Try not to let too many of our congregants die in what's to come, you hear? And with that, your vision unclouds. Brother Charles disappears, Earl disappears into a cloud of moths that come forward and envelop him. You're right back into the street. Sam, it's about this time you're running down the path with Alfred. He's in tow. Oh, Master Sam, this is much worse than I thought. The Protectrons are basically like just trying to keep people out of coming into this area. Oh, I will try the new cryolator. And he fires it off. It's very effective at just putting out flames that are in that area. Lena, who has great investment in that facility, she comes running too. And coming from that kitchen area, she comes with an extinguisher as well. Protectron, here, you can handle the flames better. You take this, take it in there, help Alfred put out the flames. And they make their way in, blasting, coating everything they can, putting out all the fires. And I don't know if there's anything else you're doing from the exterior, but you see quite a lot of smoke has begun to billow out of the place. It is a brick building, but the interior, you can see some windows have broken from the heat. Especially windows that were kind of like those tiny ones to the jails below. Those windows have all broken to the heat. There's vines that are now coming out of like the ground next to the place. These big gnarled branches that are coming out, large enough to break foundation of the building and such. They seem to have slowed, by the way, in their growth for the time being, just as this whole event's going on. Some of them have caught fire completely. There's kind of branches of flame sticking out as well.
Sam, it or interloper, not sure how to kill it, maybe let it burn, but keep the fire from catching the other buildings.
It looks like the robots got under control for now, hopefully. And it looks like the growth has slowed down. But this little event has given me the answer of what we were going to do with them. To me, it's come to me. We're going to kill them all and let their moths sort them out.
They have to die.
Lena goes, what the hell happened? I knew you were going to interrogate them, but burn down the police station and blast out the walls was not a part of it. I'm going to guess your fellow prisoners didn't take to like in that interrogation very much.
I honestly...
This is true evil.
Whatever happened here is beyond me. Raven said it best. There's something truly evil at play here.
Well, if the Protectron and Alfred seem to have a handle on the building, we'll make sure what's left of the vines are put out. I think we're going to have one last town hall meeting tonight. There's going to be a lot of questions. People are probably quite tired after a long day's training, but this seems like something that we'll have to play at in the next episode. That is where we're going to bring it to a close tonight, comrades. Raven and Sam, in the police station with the vine monster. That's your cliffhanger for the week. You have a very disheveled jail. We'll see how much of that remains to be preserved and repaired. Good session, gang. Very good session. I'm sorry that Dark Knight couldn't be here for tonight's unraveling, but he can always go back and watch this episode and catch up on it. What a fun use of the jail. I have to do some reading on this lore, says Raven. I spent a couple hours today studying Mothman lore. So, what can I say? Any last outstanding questions from my players tonight? Last couple thoughts you want to put in here? We have about 5 more minutes of live time, and then we're going to close it out for the night.
I'm speechless.
The one on the floor turned out not to be easily shaken, or maybe too easily shaken from how you might want to look at it. He saw
I knew
option.
some of the lore, but this was wow.
I think I've kept it all lore accurate. I think. Shout out to the Fallout wiki, because I didn't know they did ritual suicide until the last second, and I saw it and I was like, oh, wow.
That is wild.
Yeah. Now the beast of the wasteland has awoken. We'll see what trouble you all get into in the next episode. Whether you are still planning an attack, whether you're planning a defense, whether you're planning something else. Stay tuned, everyone. And in the same...
Also above table, I was going to kill them and make it look like they did it.
That would have been a fancy one, Mac. I'm sorry to have stolen your thunder there. I'm sorry to have taken that away from you. I apologize. They had a plan of their own, it seemed. Good interrogation, by the way, Sam. Fun to play as an enemy who did not care about anything you were trying to convince him of. He was pretty convinced that only your death was the only thing he cared about, was getting rid of you and the rest of the people that were confining them. But then comes the question, did they let you take them? Did they know the entire time? Why were they being watched? Why? They told you basically that, they know of where you are now. That sort of infers, and believe me when I say infers, because I don't even know for sure, but it sounds to me like you led them back to hope, which might have been the worst possible place to take them for an interrogation because of their otherworldly linkage.
I didn't know a tree was going to pop out of them.
Believe me, neither did I. That's the fun part of D&D and improv, isn't it? Okay, everybody, we're going to put a pin in it for tonight. I want to thank you all for coming out and watching tonight's show. It was an absolute blast. We're going to try and have the gang together on... we're going to try and meet up this week again to do the Overseer's Log. I would recommend you listen to those. We put them out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the rest. Both the audio versions of these episodes and the audio versions of the Overseer's Log. My brain just farted for a second because I'm like, did we do that, Kyle? Did we do it all correctly? Have I uploaded everything correctly? I should have. If you go to tftfallout.com, you can find all of the links to our podcast, the Discord, the Twitch, the YouTube, and more. There's an Instagram and a TikTok account out there. We have a brand new Patreon and a coffee account out there if you want to become a subscribing member and help me do even more with this sort of stuff. whether it's software or map details, all that stuff. Like I pay for access to monthly map assets, the Fallout ones you see here, done by the Lore Patreon that exists. It'll be linked in the description below. I want to remind people we have a couple affiliate link codes, so if you want to check those out, you can go to the Bethesda Gear Shop. There's, I think, a Mothman plushie up there if you want to grab it. Use the code BTAILS11 or BTAILS12. Again, if you're listening to this and those codes have expired, keep trying. Go up the amount. I'm sure I'm making more of them, but I just keep adding new numbers to the end, so we'll keep going up the list. That's a B as in Bethesda, Tales as in Stories. And again, if you want to grab a copy of this game from the Modiphius website, it is 10% off with code BTAILS. As well, we also have an Amazon affiliate link that you could bookmark. And anything you buy off of Amazon, you could use that, and it gives a small kickback on it as well. Okay. That's, I think, everything I want to say. Twitch and YouTube live streams on Sundays. Lots of YouTube shorts in the middle of the week. The Overseer's Log, all the rest. We'll look forward if you want to come and chat with us in the Discord server. Be lovely. And look out on Wednesday. I guess this is the keystone, capstone thing, is to say on Wednesday, there will be a brief write-up of this. I do that every week. A brief recap of everything that happened in this episode. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for joining us. And we hope you have a very good night. Stay safe out there, Wastelanders. Bye-bye.